Same time.
You were the top rookie last month and every month. Win this game so we can go hit the buffet for some chicken wings.
Coming right up, the Pelicans taking on the Hawks. For New Orleans, the first half of this season was about putting the league on notice. They've sent a great, clear message that they are not slowing down anytime soon. Hawks, Pelicans, coming right up. Welcome, folks. Thanks for tuning in to 2K Sports for the latest presentation of our NBA basketball. Along with Greg Anthony and Brent Perry and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. We got one more great treat for you, folks. Joining us on our broadcast is Shams Charania. Shams, so great to have you with us. Thanks for taking the time to take a seat and join us. And some question marks for Zion Williamson and the Pelicans moving forward, Shams. What is your sense of how attached to Zion the Pelicans are right now?
The Pelicans learned last year that you can build around Zion Williamson. The struggle, though, is to keep him healthy. I'm told that the Pelicans are really happy about the way Zion Williamson showed last year that he can be on the court. And the Pelicans, I'm told, really believe in Zion Williamson. But there's really no way to find equal talent if they were to ever look to trade him. So the Pelicans have to wait it out and see how they can continue to compete in the West with Zion Williamson.
Quickly, do you think they have enough around him? Do you like the parts around Williamson?
I do. The biggest thing in New Orleans, though, is staying healthy. If we see a healthy group, a healthy Zion Williamson for the entire run of the playoffs, that's what everyone, not only in New Orleans, but the basketball world wants to see.
And the starting lineup for the Pelicans, Daniel Tice out there with Green. Then there's Trey Murphy. And it's prime time. And it's McCollum in at the 2-guard.
Such a luxury to have McCollum be able to play both guard spots. So not just a scorer, solid passer too. About 3 assists for his career.
Daniels with it. Now Green defending. Here's Doyle. Last game, an incredible scoring display for him. Goes back up. Misses in close. Atlanta's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Just around a minute and a half into the first quarter. Daniels passes to Bogdanovich. Here's the screen for 3. Drills the three-pointer.
How about that touch, Bogdanovich? That time from way out.
The Pelicans have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Here's Doyle. Lays it up and banks it in.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, the coach over there just asking for one simple thing, and that's some effort. Got burned on that one.
Puts it up from 12. Green with the rebound.
Things are going south right now. This is not the type of shooting that his teammates expect from him.
Well, the latest CBA introducing the second apron, limiting Shams what teams above the cap can do. How does that new rule affect teams?
Decision makers tell me that they're very much keeping an eye on the second apron, not only of their team, but others, and teams that will have to shed salary because of the second apron and the amount of big contracts we're going to see teams give to players. You're going to see it at the top, but that may dwindle in the middle of their roster. But we will see a more competitive league because of these new CBA changes, and less of a chance of super teams, just more parity and dispersed talent.
Do you constantly read over some of these CBA agreements? I would assume that you do, to have a full understanding of terms like the apron, like we just talked about, or all the other things, the luxury tax, all the things that make deals possible.
It's one thing to have luxury tax. It's a whole nother animal now to have the second apron, and that certainly for teams that are deep in the second apron, that limits their ability to go make major trades, to be able to sign players for more than the minimum, and we're seeing that happen to at least one or two teams around the league right now. So how will that impact things? But certainly the CBA being 50, 60, 70 pages, that's something you pour through before every calendar year.
It was just fascinating.
Oh, the athleticism there on display from Daniels. That's fun.
Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. And that's going to be a treble. A fantastic string of games for him. Your Western Conference Player of the Week, prime time.
While most players can dominate with their scoring ability, he has done it with his passing. No doubt that he is the catalyst for this team on offense. And when players are cutting or moving to open space, he has found them.
Here's Daniels, and that one is hammered home.
Gives the team such a great element, having a one guard who can get to the 10.
Certainly something every team wants to have.
I'd like to see that assertiveness, especially from the guy who's going to orchestrate your offense.
And Shams, nothing gets a workout like your phone. We're here, we're talking NBA, we're watching this game. We got this great group here courtside. You've got two phones working, and I'm sure there's a third hidden in your bag. Can you estimate how many texts do you send and receive a day? Connects again from distance.
And that last three now ties him for the franchise record for most in a season. You know he's looking for that next one.
You talk about being locked in all year long. Next one sets the franchise record. What a season it's been for him.
If he's going to keep shooting, they've got to run some plays for him. Screens, pick and rolls, anything they can do to get him started.
Pass to Okongwu. Daniels with it. Ripped away. Here's McCollum. Sinks that one from the post. McCollum's got 7.
Well, C.J. McCollum can score in a lot of ways. Coming off of screens, playing with the ball, spot-up three-point shooting. Just a variety of ways to produce.
Here's Rizeshay. Knocked loose. Okongwu kicks to Johnson. The Hawks again can't hit.
The defense there got away with a major lapse.
Here's Doyle. And again for 3.
And he shattered the franchise single-season high for three-pointers made.
Getting them up and connecting with high volume. He's been a flamethrower all season long. And we'll have a timeout called by Quinn Snyder. This will give him a chance to discuss some potential alterations. Nancy's checked in for the Hawks. And then for New Orleans, Robinson Earls checked in for Daniel Tice. And it's Herbert Jones in for Trey Murphy. Pass to Daniels. Late June, NBA free agency is such a busy time for you, Shams. During the start of that hectic period, walk us through your day. What's your life like? I've asked you this before in previous times you've been out here with us, but do you get any sleep?
I'm up 24/7 because the great part about free agency, Kevin, is you never know when you might get that call, you might get that text, when a player has committed, when a player has decided to go to a specific NBA team. That is what I live for. That's what I know the fans live for, and I'm one of those fans, so I want to make sure I know as well, and I'm able to inform in an appropriate, timely, responsible, and fair way, and accurately. So for me, there's not much wiggle room when it comes to sleep. I try to make up for it later. But NBA free agency, trade deadline, draft, those are time periods when I know I have to be on. I might be getting a call now, Kevin, actually.
Well, wait, I was just going to ask you. We're doing this game. I'm looking at your phone. It's lighting up. You're looking down. You're looking at the game. You're talking to me. You're doing two things at once.
I have to be multitasking at all times, Kevin. You know that.
Oh, it's the best. And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Aldridge. David?
Kevin, thanks. I asked Quinn Snyder what he enjoys most about coaching, and the Hawks coach said the opportunity to compete in such an intense way. Also, the tactics of the game and the intellectual part of player development. It's rewarding to see and have a part in someone's growth and improvement. Kevin?
David, that's coaching, right? Growth and development. A mind for the game for sure. I've always respected Coach Snyder.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start. Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
And here's Bogdanovich coming off a solid outing against Charlotte.
And what an alley-oop. Those two read each other so well.
It's a play I'm sure they love to run. Here's Doyle. He's covered by Daniels. McCollum off a pick from Doyle. New Orleans moving it around. Shams, with as often as you've interacted with front offices all over the NBA, have you noticed any changes with how franchises operate with both the players and the media and that relationship and where it may be headed?
Everything has to be more specialized now in the organizations, but you're seeing true partnerships develop with teams and their players, especially their top players. The teams have to pay more attention now to data, to metrics than ever before. And the relationship between the top players in the organization, that is very, very important. And the teams that do a good job of managing relationships, of managing expectations, that is clearly what separates the elite teams with the bottom teams. And certainly players in today's generation are very, very polished when it comes to the media.
You frame that so well. A three from Bogdanovich. Connects from three-point range. Bogdanovich has got it back down to single digits for the Hawks. Here's Doyle. He's got 14. Launches it. Sinks the triple. Doyle's got 17 now.
Doing a lot of nice work now from the field. He's helped get them this lead, and now he's helped them keep it.
Daniels dishes to Okongwu. Pass to Johnson. A three from Bogdanovich. Not going to go that time. Pelicans leading by 10. Here's Doyle. Nance with the rebound.
Let's hope for his sake that he does not try that one ever again.
Here's Doyle. He's got 17. And another three for New Orleans.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Well, if there were 4 or 5 boxes to check in terms of the game plan tonight, they might have checked 6. I mean, they're doing everything out there.
From the arc. That miss puts him at 53% shooting tonight. 8 for 15. A three from Bogdanovich. It's rebounded by New Orleans. Here's Doyle. Yeah, wow, he nails the buzzer beater.
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock. Nice job.
Yeah, it's almost like he's playing with the wristwatch there. He knew the time, he executed.
And so it's New Orleans riding a 15-point lead at the end of the quarter. They have And so far through one quarter, it's been a lopsided game. We'll see if that changes here in the second. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for New Orleans.
They have looking to push the tempo, and it's working for them. Great job of scoring in transition.
Sometimes the offense can be keyed by just quick possession. So you get a steal, and you can get out in transition. They seem to be very focused on that end of the floor.
On the court right now, second quarter for the Pelicans. Basket good. Hey, Shams, we know you've reported on so many big trades that did happen. Were there ever a few that were close to happening but may have fallen apart at the 11th hour?
I always wait until things are 100% confirmed, but listen, there's always a trade or two that's viewed as done, but just does not happen, whether it's sours, whether something falls apart. There's always one deal or two that falls apart at the trade deadline or in the offseason. But I try to wait as best I can and make sure that when I report, it is confirmed.
Outstanding.
Beautiful transition offense there. That's execution at its best.
Yeah, once you burst through a seam like that, you got to look right towards the rim. Sweet play.
Drops in the tray. Reza Shea's got 5 now.
And such a nice stroke for a rookie. Reza Shea looking like a polished shooter already.
Here's Doyle. And he finishes nicely on the layup. Doyle's got 6 points in the quarter.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Here's Buffkin, defended by Doyle. Inside, here's Nance. The Pelicans pull it in. And you want to talk about winning recipes? These guys have it. 21 wins in a row. That's right, 21.
So few teams in the history of the NBA have ever put a streak like this together, so it's really impressive. My prediction, the streak continues.
Here's Buffkin. And it's off from three-point range. The Pelicans coming to this one after the win against the Knicks in New York.
Yeah, their long-range artillery hit the mark more often than not. A great equalizer when you're on the road.
Yeah, they sapped the energy right out of the building in that one. They just were knocking down threes, and it was deflating both for the team and the crowd.
Pass to Roddy. How expansion is coming, Shams. Is the league ready, in your estimation, for some more cities and new teams?
The NBA seems to be ready. I think I'm ready. Kevin, are you ready? Because the last expansion was, 20 years ago? That's the longest wait for this league since it began. And so I think Adam Silver and this league are going to take their time and really figure out exactly where they want to expand to. But the question is, Kevin, are you ready?
I am always ready. I know the league is looking even overseas or even maybe south of the border for a possible new entrant. But the league has got so much talent on the bottom half of these rosters. I definitely think it's time.
And there's a great appetite, a great desire for a lot of these cities, not only in the States, but also abroad, like you said, to go bring in an NBA team to their city and bring some of the talent, the marquee names to their city.
Oh, it'll be terrific. Here's Nance. From 13 feet, it goes down.
Capable from that kind of range, Larry Nance Jr. effective at using that area of the floor on that possession.
Screen by Tice. Here's Doyle. It's good. Doyle's got 13 points now in the quarter.
Down the stretch, he's been flat out awesome. He helped them get the lead, and now he's making sure they keep it.
Nance outside. Roddy the pass to Nance. Murray with it, and Zeller picks him up defensively. His shot is good, making him a perfect 2 for 2 from the floor.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Now, Reza Shea. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against the Hornets in Charlotte. Over Murray. And it's Reza Shea missing.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
This quarter belongs to him, and that's how you do it when you're out in front. Don't play it safe. Keep that momentum going.
And the league continuing, Shams, to tweak the rules around replay review. But would you set a time limit to maybe tweak it a little bit?
Have to, right? Especially some of these games and the way they're ending. It's something to try if you can't find a cause to really overturn in a minute or two. Let's keep this game moving. I think we all love a free-flowing game.
I agree.
Give them credit. Offensively, they've been the more efficient team.
Yeah, that along with maintaining the pace of play right now, playing with tons of intensity.
Rizachet with it. 7 points in the game. Pass to Nance. Shoots the three. Rebound by Murray.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
They set the pick. Here's Doyle. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
I mean, even from over here, you could see that one pretty clearly.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Atlanta's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Pass to Johnson. He's looking for Okongwu and finds him. Deflects the pass. It's stolen by Green. All alone. And Green slams it in.
Excellent on both ends of that play.
Yeah, the steal was sharp, but the slam topped it off.
And we say it time and time again, so I'll repeat it. Have to be careful with the ball, or this is what happens.
Nance with no one around. And once again off the mark by Atlanta.
And physically, there's no doubt they've been the stronger team. A plus 10 rebound advantage tells you all you need to know.
Doyle passes to Green. New Orleans moving it around. Just 5 on the clock. Tries the spin move. Here's Doyle. And it's good off the back of the rim and in. Doyle's got 43 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Nance outside. Pass to Johnson to end the run. And then Johnson with the jam.
You love seeing Johnson with that attacking mindset.
And for Atlanta, they come in off a good outing against Charlotte. Drives to the hoop. Uses both hands to slam it down.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question. And here's Daniels. He's coming off a 10-point game against Charlotte. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. He's covered by Murray. And Bogdanovich kicks to Johnson. Pass to Daniels. Here's Bogdanovich. The 3 from Johnson. That ball. Nice feed that time from Bogdanovich. Bogdanovich has got his 4th assist in this one. Here's Doyle. 43 points in the game. And he takes that one up and powers it through.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Atlanta's gone 2 for 5 from three-point land since the end of the first. Nance passes to Daniels. And Bogdanovich kicks to Daniels. 5 on the clock. Out of bounds. New Orleans will take possession. Let's see the stat sheet here for him.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
Rizachet, he's checked in for Nance. New Orleans also making some changes. Jones comes in for Trey Murphy. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Murray. And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Kevin, C.J. McCollum has talked about his fit on the Pelicans. He says, with my skill set, I can play in any environment, style, and system. With this group, it's just about me making the right plays and finding my offense without taking away opportunities for B.I. and Z to get theirs. Kevin?
True, David. You know, shooting always helps, and he's got some talented guys around him for sure. Shams, it's been fun. And you know what? It's been too short. So you got to promise you're going to come back and give us some more inside information on the NBA. We have loved every second having you here courtside with us tonight.
Sorry I was not able to break any big news on air this time, but you know what? My phone's ringing, so maybe next time.
Well, let me look at your phone. Wait a minute. Hold on. That is big news! Holy cow! Come back sooner than later, okay?
Thank you.
So great to have Shams stop by. You can see his passion for the game in every word he says.
You can't work as hard as Shams does without having a passion for the NBA. It's not easy to be that plugged in.
Kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson sends the screen for Bogdanovich. Back to Johnson. It's rebounded by New Orleans. And we've been following this group's absolute dominant season, winning most games in blowout fashion.
Truly record-setting fashion. Nonetheless, though, it's been demoralizing to teams facing this group. I mean, before halftime, teams are often down by 15 or 20 points. We might be witnessing another blowout in the making here tonight.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Now, here's Bogdanovich. He's got 11. They need this. And no good that time. And so it's the New Orleans Pelicans going to the break, holding an enormous 36-point lead. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. Back right after this.
Hey everybody, neither team at full strength tonight. Here's a look at the injury status.
New Orleans dealing with some injury issues. Unfortunately, Brandon Ingram is hurt, a gigantic loss. He could score when you got nothing going. He can play point forward, he can handle the basketball, he can set his teammates up. They can't make up this production with one guy.
Switching back to that first half of action, everything's been working for the Pelicans.
You know, on the boards, they've been ferocious.
And that's all for us. Now it's time to send it back to Kevin Harlan for the beginning of the third quarter.
And there wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. Really an incredible game from primetime.
Well, through the first two, he has been nothing short of a marksman from deep.
Yeah, you would hope the defense at least would start to consider creeping up on him just a little bit.
Greg, we know about the Euro step, but is the decel the next move that's getting more notice?
I think it is, Kevin, and you can see players have quickly incorporated that into their arsenal. It's been fun to watch, man, and I tell you, it creates some uncomfortable situations.
The front court is Rizuche and Johnson. Bogdanovich is out there with Daniels. And it's Okongwu in at the 5 down low. So that's the Hawks 5. And, yep, another basket.
And this game has his name written all over it.
Greg, he's been phenomenal. An offensive onslaught. Here's Rizuche. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back. 10 points for Rizuche.
He's been terrific tonight, and with a little help from the other guys on the floor, they might be able to turn this game around.
Back to McCollum. New Orleans moving it around. Green, the screen. Here's Doyle. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It goes on Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, nice, strong finish there. Nearly a 3-point opportunity.
You know, Greg, it's been great to see the Pelicans get to the next level these past few seasons, hasn't it?
It has, and they've become one of the deeper teams in the NBA over that time. It's not just about one guy. There's talent up and down that roster.
Daniels passes to Bogdanovich. Here's Rizuche. Johnson sets the screen for Rizuche. 4 on the shot clock. And then Johnson with the dunk.
Great lift off the floor. Johnson is electric.
Here's Doyle. He's covered by Daniels. Pass to Doyle. Green with a screen for McCollum. Finds himself wide open and drills it. McCollum's got 14.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
That's one that the coaches will watch tomorrow with that player. You hate to see him give up in that situation.
They've shown some strength in the paint today. Their work on the boards has been impressive.
Doyle passes to McCollum. The wing jumper off target.
Shot didn't fall, but that play worked well to get a good look at the basket.
Yeah, an efficient offensive possession. They found the look that they wanted, just didn't go in.
Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. And it's New Orleans scoring again.
They're doing work here in the second half. 3 or 4 to start.
Johnson outside. Here is Daniels, guarded by Doyle. Back to Daniels. To the paint, looking for Bogdanovich, and he gets it there. That one falls. He's got 13.
That's a pretty soft touch for Bogdanovich, trying to do some damage on the inside now.
Here's Doyle. Down low. It's McCollum on the wing. Fader on the way. Another one falls for New Orleans.
And now you can see the D having problems stopping the mid-range jumper, just not really closing out as much as they need to.
Pass to Daniels. A three from Bogdanovich. It's rebounded by New Orleans.
Their game plan needs to change if they're going to get out of this hole, because he is just not there offensively.
Hit his way. And the refs whistling a kick ball.
Number 13, Hawkins.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. Doyle passes to Tice. And he comes up with the deuce.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
Here is Daniels, defended by Doyle. Outside, Bogdanovich hits the three-point bomb. Bogdanovich has got 5 points now in the quarter.
There you go. That's the stroke we saw in the first half.
Here's Doyle. And again.
And he's been dominant here thus far.
Shouldering the offense, GA really taking it to the opposition. Daniels passes to Bogdanovich. Here is Daniels, guarded by Doyle. Johnson, wide open, he fires. No good on the triple.
He's not the guy that you want to give a wide open look from three-point range. They're lucky that that one doesn't cost them.
For Atlanta, they've gone a somewhat subpar 4 of 10 on their shots in the second half so far. With the floater, Bogdanovich, no luck. New Orleans has gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's Doyle. He's covered by Daniels. And here's McCollum for 3. No look there. Missed number 4 in 12 tries.
Well, he got off to a terrific start from the perimeter, but in the second half, he can't seem to build on that early success.
Rizichet wide open. And once again off the mark by Atlanta. The Pelicans have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter. And Rizichet, the prototypical size and skill for a wingman.
Yeah, he's got some jelly to his game. Handle touch at his size. That becomes very tough to contain.
And with this era of the Atlanta Hawks, Greg, they've gone as far as their defense has let them.
You look back at their conference finals run in 21, that was the last time they had a top 10 defense. So scoring's never been the issue with this core, but defense has been non-existent.
The Pelicans shooting a stellar 60% since the halftime break. Doyle. And it's Rizichet with the rebound. The Hawks shooting 43% from the floor. Nice ball movement here by Atlanta. Nance, right side, and foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Greg, since making it to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2021, the Atlanta Hawks haven't been that good.
And it was hard to tell if that was a Cinderella run at the time, but Kevin, looking like that might have been the outlier. The Hawks took some risks to get back there, but it just hasn't worked.
Matthews, he's checked in for the Hawks.
And boy, he's really in a groove. Dominant performance last game. Same thing this time out.
Seems to be nobody standing in his way, no roadblocks for him to get to his spot, capitalize, and continue to be aggressive.
Here's Buffkin. The Hawks again can't hit.
And guys, you've heard of overpassing. Well, that shot was an example of underpassing.
Maybe they can find a way to establish some rhythm in the next few possessions with the extra pass.
Hawk shooting is leaving some to be desired, just 36% here in the third quarter. Here's Buffkin. Covered by Doyle. Nance outside. Lets it go from 11. That's good on the jump shot. Nance has got 5 now.
Yeah, this league is in good shape when you talk about guys like Nance. The consummate role player does everything that's asked of him.
To the inside. Here's Buffkin. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Buffkin's got 4 points this quarter. The Pelicans have gone 8 of 14 on their shot attempts here in the third. Some pretty nice work. The shot by Hawkins, no good. The Hawks have gone 7 for 16 in the second half from the field, shooting a bit under 50%. New Orleans has gone 1 of 4 in three-point shots here in the third. Here's Doyle. Wide open shot is on the money.
I mean, he is bringing his game, guys. Another jumper from distance.
Now Matthews, still scoreless. Here's Buffkin, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
And slams it home and gets some camera time on the end of it.
He did. He spent a while up on that rim, didn't he? Doyle, no good. And the Hawks with possession. 1:49 left to play in the third. To the middle, here's Johnson, and he drops in the layup off the glass. 9 points in the game so far.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Here's Doyle. Here's Hawkins. And another 3 for New Orleans.
What a quick release on the Hawkins jumper. The ball was in his hands for just a moment.
Here's Buffkin. He's got 10. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. The tray. Yet another bucket. 71 points and no end in sight.
Young fella is in the zone. The defense right now looks helpless.
Pass to Johnson. Stolen by Jones. Here's Doyle. And a miss there on the triple. Atlanta's shooting reasonably well, 45%. And Jones sends it back.
You've seen Jones display good instincts for finding slots. You can sense that shot coming.
There's 31 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Roddy. Bangs home the trifecta. Waddy's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3.
Assist from Garrison Matthews.
20 seconds left here in the third quarter. Pass to Doyle. It's tipped, and that's out of bounds. New Orleans will retain possession.
You love the pressure he's putting on them. Almost had that steal.
Yeah, pestering right now, and that's going to pay some dividends. At some point, there's going to be a turnover.
6 to shoot. To the paint. New Orleans needs to get off a shot. Fires the 3, and they force the shot clock violation. Great team.
Checking in for the Pelicans,
So we see the Pelicans taking the W here. A resounding victory for them. And Greg,